Okay, so our next project is coil. We're going to be doing coil pots. And it's coils because you can see it's like snakes, and these are called coils. You make them by rolling the clay out. All right, and there are kind of a lot of things that you can do with this. Unlike the pinch pot, where with the pinch pot, you know, you have to take clay and then you have to pinch it to a shape like a vessel. With the coil, you have to actually take clay and you have to make a snake-like rope, if you will, okay? And once you make that long rope, then you coil it, hence the name coil. Right, so it's kind of nice. You get to do many things. You could do just the basic, just like this. You can also twist it. You can also do a bunch of little pearls, or even like little swirls, you know, like snail shells. And you can combine and mix it all together. Like over here, right, I have some snails in here, and then I even have like little, you know, snakes in here, or right in here I have it going up and down, up and down, up and down. There's a lot of different things you can do, and it just looks like, you know, like rope, right? It just looks like rope. So let's talk about, you know, how we're going to start. And the first thing you're going to need to know how to do is make a coil, a rope. And yes, believe it or not, there's a right way and a wrong way. So the wrong way is just going like this. And when you go like this, notice that I'm not going very far. I'm going this way, this way, this way, this way. And so what happens, right? What happens is that you start to get this like oval. It's not actually round. And you're like, why does it do that? It does that because, you know, it's flat here, and then you go like this into the crevice of your finger, and then flat. Crevice, flat, crevice, flat, or another crevice. So to avoid that, you know, you want to go all the way to your fingertips, all the way to your palm, all the way. So you can also just go one direction, or you can go back and forth. Now, I like to just go ahead and put my hands like that and open them up rather than going like this. A lot of people go like that. But I like it like this because if you go like that, then you get some weak points, right? If you go like this, then what happens is sometimes you start to get like, and I'm going to exaggerate it right now, but you start to get things like this. See that? Like this little weak spot right there? And that happens. So we don't want that. And if that happens, just push the clay a little bit together, you know, and see if you can get rid of that. So I like to go like this, and you're not pressing down too hard, and you're moving it around. And trust me, a lot of you are like, really? Really? We're doing a demo on how to make a little snake coil? Yeah, trust me. A lot of people have difficulty doing just that. Now, don't be a perfectionist. This is good enough. It should be about the size of your pinky, not thinner than that, not thicker than that. It should be pinky, if anything, a little bit bigger than your pinky. I'd rather it be your pinky or your thumb before it's smaller than your pinky, because we're going to be blending. Once we build it, we're going to be blending, and you're going to need to start from halfway to blend, right? So if these are two coils, we're going to go halfway and blend. So if it's very thin and you go halfway, then you have a thin wall. So we don't want that. First thing you're going to do is you're going to make a long enough coil. You know, you don't need to make it the length of your table, right? Just make it, you know, I don't know, 3 feet, 2 feet. And you're just going to start, you know, making a ring, just like that, or a snake coil like that. Now, how big should you do this? Really, it should be maybe, I don't know, that's about 3 inches. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. You know, it doesn't matter, like this big, okay? That's good enough. See, this is good enough. See how I did that? That's about enough, right? So that's all, because we're going to start building up. We're going to build up. What kind of a vessel do we want to make as our first coil project? Just to start off, is a vessel like this. This is it. It's going to be round, very similar to like our pinch pots, right? It's going to be round. And then up here, we're going to close in a little bit and then open up. Okay, so right around here, I am going to stop, and then I am going to start going up. I'm going to stack on top. You see what I just did right here? Instead of going like this, I am going to go like this. Some of you have had this experience, and you can do this because you've worked with Play-Doh in your younger years, and you know, just recall your memory of how it was like to do things like this, right? So here we are. We've done this, okay? We're doing this. Now I need to make another one. So I'm going to put this aside. Get another piece. You can kind of pre-shape it like this if you'd like, just to get it going, and then start making it. You don't need to make this super long either. If it's too long, then you know, it kind of starts to fall apart. But this is good enough. Look at how long I got just with that little piece, right? All right, now, some people, they like to connect it and then blend and then smear it together just so that you can't tell, right? You don't need to go crazy like that. I kind of like just going ahead and what I like to do is I like to start like somewhere like above it. Don't start right there, that's too obvious. Start like right above it, just like that. And then push down. And now I'm gonna be, you know, going up like this. So you can see how I'm going upward? So that's what I'm doing, I'm going upward. At some point, like right around here, I'm gonna stop, right? I've got my piece, I like its shape, I like what's happening. You know, be careful that you're not going out and out and out and out and out, because that's what happens too. Sometimes you're doing this, and then before you know it, you're like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Why is it doing this? Why is it, you know, what's happening? Well, you got to pay attention to what you're doing. You're going upward, and you're keeping it, you know, kind of tight. You're trying to make a round ball like this, right? Trying to make it round. So you're shaping it. Now at this point, just stop, press it down a little bit, press it down, and you're going to grab one of these tools, okay? These tools, it's got a, you know, a chiseled tip, and then it's got a nice round tongue right there. You're going to need to start smoothing this out, okay? So I'm going to hold it in my hand, you see this? And I'm going to start from the center, and, you know, and I'm just going to blend it. See how I'm doing that, people? See that? I'm just going to blend it, right? Let me... And the beginning is hard because you're like, okay, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And you're just going to go from the top down. You see how I'm going up here? Right? I'm going down here and I'm going down like halfway. Right? And then I'm going back up. All right. So let me just do this a little bit more here. Now, it's nice to have this in your hand because then you can feel, and also you are keeping it, because if you just do this and you don't, you know, you don't hold it in your hand, you might end up pushing it out and, you know, messing up the shape. And while it's in your hand, you can feel what areas are too thin. You know, you want at least a ½ inch wall all around of the clay. Now, here's another thing. If you see, right, that you've blended and you feel it, you're like, it's a little thin here. It's a little thin. Okay, what you do, all right, is just grab a little piece of the moist clay. It's got to be moist, right? It's got to be nice and moist, not hard. And go ahead, make sure that it's smooth down here, no air pockets. In other words, don't have stuff like this and then put this on top, because then you're creating an air pocket. So, you know, have it smooth, have this piece be smooth, and then go ahead and just push it down in there while you're holding it like this. Not too hard, just push it down in there, you know, and then just blend that in. and you've reinforced, you've given some, you know, some more thickness to that base, so it's not so thin. Now the thing about the blending is, you know, I try to blend in a crisscross kind of way. So think of it this way, right? I might blend this way, and then I'm going to blend this way, then I'm going to blend down, then I'm going to blend sideways. So that's how I'm doing this, okay? I am blending this way. I might go down, up, sideways, you know, like you're putting icing on a cake. Just the same way as you're putting icing or peanut butter on your toast. All right? Okay. You can also come in here later and with your hand and you can smooth this piece out. If the clay is soft enough, you can do this.